welcome to part 5 of 5, the last video in my off-season triathlon training series by Ben Fitness. And in this video I want to talk about off-season triathlon training. So this might have been the video you've been waiting for. In the last video I talked about reintroducing triathlon training, but in this video I'm finally going to get into the nitty-gritty of what actual off-season triathlon training looks like. So most coaches will refer to this as the base period. So you've reintroduced triathlon training in the prep period. Now this is the base period. So it's still the winter for most individuals, but training is going to look a little different than, let's say, the prep phase. So what does training look like? I like to focus on 4 things in particular. Technique, which translates to economy. This is, how efficient can you swim, bike, and run? Swimming obviously be the most technical. Biking would be second, and running would be second, and biking would be the last. But all of them require, technique work. You need to increase your efficiency, your stroke economy, and many aspects of technique. And now is the time to do it, not later before your race. Strength, which translates to force, and strength can be built with functional strength, such as weight training, body weight movements, yoga, things like that, and then sport-specific strength, such as hill repeats on the run, hill repeats on the bike, pushing a big cadence on the bike, and guidelines for this part of the off-season training. I recommend taking 8 to 16 weeks, so 2 to 4 months. That would include some harder weeks and some easier weeks, but a basic week is going to look like 1 to 2 aerobic workouts of both swimming, biking, and running. Or I guess all 3. So 1 to 2 swim, bike, and run workouts that are purely aerobic. Zone 2 training is a common term, or Maffetone style training. And then 1 to 2 strength sessions a week. So I've kept this on since last video. I highly encourage weight training. It's another good way to build functional strength and prevent injuries. And then 1 to 2 technique workouts of swimming, biking, and running, and 1 to 2 strength. So these workouts, like I said in the last slide, would be hill repeats, swimming with like a t-shirt on in the pool or with paddles to add some extra resistance and build strength, and ruck hikes. Most triathletes aren't doing ruck hikes, but it's an awesome way to build strength if you're doing hilly courses. Put like a 20-pound weight vest on and go hike hills. But anyway, that's some basic guidelines for what your week should look like within the off-season. So here's an actual sample week that I created for off-season training. As you can see, Sunday is still a yoga class in the afternoon, but morning is going to be an aerobic run with 8 strides. So you're going to build some aerobic endurance, but also work on some technique at the end of the run, running 8 strides at, let's say, 20 seconds, 90% effort, really focusing on leg turnover and foot placement. Then swim Monday, Tuesday, a strength workout, and then a technique trainer session. So single leg drills, toe drills, high cadence drills on the bike for technique on the trainer. Wednesday is going to be a hillier trail run. I really encourage people to use their arms and kind of power hike the steeper hills to really build that strength in the legs. Similar to pushing a big gear on the bike on the hill, you can mimic that when running by slowing your cadence down and really focusing on the power in each foot placement and using your arms to help get up the hill. An evening swim on Wednesday, another strength workout on Thursday, and bike hill repeats or several bike climbs and a 60-minute workout on Friday, and then Saturday is a rest day. So as far as nutrition during the off season, still dial in your race weight. Now's the time to do that. Stick with common meals. I just find it's easier when you're training, and especially in the base phase, your volume tends to be a little higher, and you just stick with meals that will work and are healthy. Still avoid endurance sugar. I don't see a need for taking in gels and really high sugar density drinks at this point in your season. I would just encourage real food. Eat raisins. There was a study that showed that raisins were just as beneficial for endurance athletes than those sport jelly beans. So I just try to eat real food, and people just tend to be healthier when eating real food when exercising. Take a bulkier carbohydrates post-workout. Now, mind you, I'm not a registered dietitian, and I don't want this to be misconstrued for medical advice or anything like that, but I am a sports nutritionist and work with a lot of athletes, and I tend to just move their carbohydrates from the morning. Everyone's eating oatmeal or fruit juices or things like that, and I tend to just say, hey, stick with higher fat, moderate protein meals for breakfast, and take the bulk of your carbohydrates post-workout. So if your post-workout meal is breakfast, then it would be fine to eat, oatmeal with jelly or things like that. But I really encourage the bulk of someone's carbohydrates to be post-workout. And then eat more fat. I only put that in there because everyone I work with doesn't eat enough fat and they eat too many carbohydrates. And I'm a big fan of teaching your body to use fat as a fuel source. Therefore, you need to eat higher fat foods that are high quality fat, of course. So coconut oil, avocados, olives, olive oil, full fat Greek yogurt, grass-fed meat, salmon, all things of that nature. Nuts are another good one. So less carbohydrates, more fat, bulk of carbohydrates post-workout, and count calories. I put that in there with a question mark because people if you're having trouble dialing your race weight. Now, if you're a lean individual and you can eat whatever you want, just stop the video here. You're got everything you need. But if you're trying to lose weight, I really encourage people to count their calories at least once a week to see where they're at, because this can be really shocking. I know a lot of coaches are like, what? Endurance athletes can eat what they want, tons of carbohydrates, they'll be fine. They're burning so many calories. But over the years with sports drinks and whatnot, everyone tends to overconsume, and I tend to see skinny fat triathletes at Ironman all the time. I mean, just look around at an Ironman finish of how many people have really skinny arms, skinny legs, and then a big belly. And I contribute this to post-workout excessive carbohydrate consumption just throughout the day as well as post-workout. So I encourage people to count their calories just to kind of understand what they're doing in a day. And it may surprise some people how many carbohydrates they're taking in or how little carbohydrates they're taking in. But if you can have a coach or a sports nutritionist look at what your day looks like once a week, and people tend to eat the same things throughout the week. So that's why I say, you don't have to do it every day necessarily, but once a week or even once a month, just record everything you eat in a software program like MyFitnessPal or FitDay, or any of these are good, and just break down your macronutrients and micronutrients and look at what you're eating each day. Are you eating way too many carbohydrates, not enough protein? Stuff like that can give you a really insight. And I've noticed that when you focus on nutrition, it kind of takes you to the next level in triathlon. I've seen tons of triathletes just go to that entirely different level, and knock off 20 minutes off a half Ironman time just by changing their diet in little ways and just being aware of what they were eating. You can go to benfitness.net and please connect with me on facebook.com/benfit if you want more triathlon information or just general fitness information. And follow me on Twitter at benfitness. And thanks again for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. Please leave your comments, subscribe, like, all that jazz. I really enjoyed making these for you, and this was kind of the first time I've done it in this format with the slides and talking, and I apologize if I say a lot of ands and thumbs and things like that along the way. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and thanks.